Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel where we give you the latest news. Thank you for always tuning in to listen to us. Now to the news of today, the headline. Entitlement mentality of Nigerians is the biggest challenge to Nigeria's progress. Reno Omokri. And now to the news in full. Reno Omokri, former presidential spokesperson to ex-President Goodluck Jonathan, has slammed Nigerians for demanding too much often from the government at the expense of the country. What too much are we asking for? The social media commentator who remarked that Nigeria's biggest challenge to progress is not corruption, tribalism, insecurity, or inflation, claimed that the entitlement mentality of the masses is responsible for the current state of the country. Omokri made this remark via a piece posted on his social media platforms on Monday in commemoration of Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary. While stating that governments around the world do not necessarily provide essential services to their citizens, Omokri said the Nigerian government provides the basics for the people. This man is talking in the rubbish because which American citizens does not provide necessary things for their people? What basic things are our presidents are they providing for us? What are the basic things? Good hospital, good road, food, electricity. Do we have all those things in abundance? No, we do not. So what are the basics that they have provided that they are saying that we are greedy? He also lamented that despite that only fewer than 8% of Nigerians pay income taxes. That is a lie. If you don't pay taxes in Nigeria, they will come and arrest you. If you have a business, if you're a business owner, if you work with the government, they already deduct all these things from your salary. So what are you saying? Many citizens still want the government to provide necessary infrastructures and subsidies. According to his word, the biggest challenge to Nigeria's progress as a nation is not corruption, tribalism, terrorism, inflation, or even the removal of fuel subsidy. It is our entitlement. The government did not do this. The government did not do that. I wish every Nigerian could travel the world. There is nothing like government airports, hospitals, schools or markets in these nations we want to japa to. But at least things are working in this country and their governments are accountable to them. At least they see them as part of them and do necessary things for them. They even pay them salary. So what are you saying? Governments in Europe, America and Canada do not go into business or provide many of the services the Nigerian government provides for the Nigerian people. What services are they providing? Nigerians are the ones creating jobs for themselves. They are the ones trying to make themselves better. The government are not doing anything. The youth are the ones trying to create jobs for themselves. There are no jobs in Nigeria. Youth are the ones doing everything to make sure that they have a better life for themselves. The governors, the presidents are not doing anything. So Omokri, I don't understand all these things that you're writing here. Hospitals are built, owned and operated by the private sector. Ditto for hospitals, university, airports, power stations, transmission lines, and sometimes even roads. 59.9% of Americans pay taxes, and their tax money is mostly used to fund the government and the military. I challenge you to find one government-owned hospital in America for civilians, even if they don't have government-owned hospital for civilians. Okay, maybe we have some public hospitals in Nigeria that are cheap for people that cannot afford it. But in abroad or UK or anywhere, these people are working, they are collecting good money. How much is the wage for a common Nigeria in this country? Just for them to even pay 70,000, it's hard for them to do. And yet a bag of rice is 100,000. And you are saying that the government please, Even their postal services are run by the private sector. When you hear British Telecommunication, British Gas, British Aerospace, British Energy and British Airways, none of them are owned by the British government. When you hear Bank of America, American Airlines, and American Electric Power Company, these are all private companies. The most profitable business run by the US government is the US military. Almost every other thing they leave for the private sector. Please fact check me. If you earn $58.597 in Germany, you will pay 42% of your income or 24,610 euros as taxes. There will be riots if you ask Nigerians to pay this level of tax. But we want a German level of delivery from our government, so where would the money to run Nigeria come from? Nigerians are the main problem of Nigeria. You will hear them say, but we have oil. Saudi Arabia has a population of 35 million and makes $350 billion annually from oil. That is $10,000 per citizen. Nigeria has a population of 220 million people and generates approximately $36 billion from crude oil annually. That is $150,000 per person. At 2.6 million people, Qatar is just 1% of our population, yet their annual revenue is $68 billion, 2.5 times that of Nigeria. Nigeria is not oil rich, we are oil poor on a per capita basis. Ghana is more oil rich than we are. We produce 1.5 million barrels per day. For a population of 220 million people, Ghana produces 200,000 barrels per day for a population of 32 million. So when Nigeria hardly pays taxes and our oil and gas revenue is insufficient to meet the demands of running our country, we are forced to borrow or print money, which means that inflation will increase, and under this situation, we cannot afford to artificially reduce the price of fuel by paying subsidy. We will go bankrupt. Therefore, as much as this annoys you, the only options are to allow market forces to control the fuel price just as it does other commodities, or we must be prepared to pay higher taxes. Failing that, Nigeria will continue to borrow or print more money, fueling inflation and increasing commodity prices. All I just say is that Reno is trying to make excuses for Tinubu. Before, he didn't do that. As of last year, he was attacking him at every opportunity he got. But now that they are now allies, he's trying to make excuses for them and saying that Nigerians are not paying taxes. Nigerians are paying taxes. If you are a government worker, if you have a business, if you're a business owner, they would even come to your office to tell you that you're not paying taxes. They will drop letters for you and everything, and you would pay that tax. So what are they saying? What is he saying that people are not paying tax? The governments are also entitled. They are entitled to the money of citizens. They are not using our money for the right thing. They are greedy and keeping all the money to themselves. Protests and riots cannot change these economic realities. They will just be like a child's tantrum when his parents cannot afford to buy him a toy. Nigerians want to live at the state's expense, forgetting that the state has to live at the expense of the people, or it will collapse, as the Soviet Union did in 1991. And in the comment section, somebody says it is as if Reno has lost his sense of orientation. Otherwise, how can you downplay the systemic corruption in the running of government by our political leadership to heap blame on the poor masses when the countries you mentioned first set up those entitled, ran them efficiently before privatization? But is it to hear, or are you the one paying for the social security they offer, which you must be a partaker, to spread falsehood and deception for cheap political gains, which changes nothing, and you refuse to be here in Nigeria? Exactly. This man has lost every sense of reasoning and is saying total rubbish. Everything he has said does not make any sense. My listeners, over to you. What do you think? Kindly leave your thoughts in the comment section. And do not forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. Bye.